Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to another episode of NSE FinWiz powered by CNBC TV 18 Season 3. Today we're at the Gurgaon office of the telecom major Alcatel Lucent.
Alcatel Lucent is a leading IP networking, ultra-broadband access and cloud technology specialist. The first company to manufacture digital switching equipment in local partnership with ITI, Alcatel Lucent delivers solutions in voice and data communications. NSE FinWiz visited Alcatel Lucent in Gurgaon with the country's finest experts to advise and educate the young employees on investments and financial planning.
And we're now joined by our two very special experts. We have Subhash Lakhotia, who's a tax and investment consultant. He's also famously known as Tax Guru on CNBC Awaz. Subhash ji, welcome to the show. And we have Tanveer Alam. He's the founder and CEO of FinCart, which is a robo-advisory platform. Welcome to the show, Tanveer.
Thank you.
And today our core topic is tax planning. So, Tanveer, I want to start with you. You know, generally people think that tax planning or tax saving is done generally in the months of February, March, when the financial year is coming to a close. That's far from ideal. But what's your advice? How do we get over that? And why do you think people just generally wait till the last moment to do it?
Typically, people rush towards the last moment when they are tax saving. And this has a lot of disadvantages associated with that. In the sense, there are a lot of tax benefit. If you plan way in advance, you can actually enjoy the tax benefit, which ideally do not. Secondly, what happens is that when you are rushing into the last moment, you get in whatever the product is available to you. Okay, inevitably, a lot of people buy into endowment insurance policy, which may not be a great product to invest in. And third, and more importantly, what happens is, a lot of tax people I've seen, my investors also, they declare in the beginning of the year when you declare your tax saving products investment, and for any reason towards the end of the year, if your cash flow doesn't permit or you have got some emergency and you can't invest, you'll realize that towards the last few months you're hardly taking home any salary. Towards the end of the thing, all gets deducted. Okay, so these are few very big disadvantages which gets associated with when you rush in the last moment for tax planning. Tax planning should ideally start at the beginning of the year, financial year, when you actually get your revised salary.
Okay, that's important to note. And start working towards that rather than last minute running around like headless chickens.
Yeah.
Subhash ji, you know, when you talk nowadays, income tax returns can be filed online also. So is that a good option for everyday layman investors like us here, or do we all need to go to a CA to do the work?
No need. It is better in your home. Sit down after your dinner. Time you don't require, you require some time because your habit is to go to late sleep in the night, and that's a good time when you can file your own income tax return from your house. Yes. And no expenses, any time, whether Sunday, Saturday, and you need not worry for that song to come. हफ्ते में 4 शनिवार होने चाहिए, not needed. Any time is your time. In office, at residence, while you are traveling from your residence to this place, even then. So I would say it is really a great big idea that certain employees in particular should file their income tax return in time, no hassles, no tension.
Okay, very important there. Tanveer, when we talk about investing, what happens is a lot of time people don't know how to, use the benefits of the Income Tax Act. Has a lot of benefits as to the different ways that we can save taxes, but people might not know the full gamut of them. Can you shed some light on those points?
Yeah, in fact, it's fairly simple. In fact, it may sound a little technical, but it's very simple. You go straight away, and in fact, there are a lot of website information available today. You first start with the basic ATC investment that you have, and only invest the net portion. A good part of your portion will get covered by your own PF that gets deducted. Okay. Next portion. There I would suggest buy only term insurance to fill the insurance, and the rest should be an investment product, which is ideally there. Now from this year onward, you have additional 50,000 over 1.5 lakh towards NPS that is given this year. Then go down alphabetically to 80D, which is again your medical insurance, which is there. And if you notice this year, government has laid a lot of emphasis on medical insurance by increasing the limit from 15,000 to 25,000. Okay, and also allowing NPS. It's actually a foresight which the government sees. If you look at the medical expenses, inflation has been increasing at a very rapid pace. One. Two, there's a lot of study, and during the course of personal finance discussion, I'll come back again, is that in all probability, people sitting in the room are going to live much longer than what the average is today. Okay, and hence you need to fund your retirement for a longer period of time. And hence that is the reason why the government is emphasizing on new pension scheme that they have launched. Then go down straight to you have 80G limit available, and apart from that you have tax saving on home interest. A lot of people have taken, how many of you have taken home loan? And if you have spouse working or you file return, take the home loan in both the names. You can take the benefit in both the names. Okay. If you have a second home and it is let out also, the entire interest on the second home can be deductible expense. Okay. So those are a lot of benefit, and when you structure the salary in advance, there are a lot of allowances against which if you submit bills, you get benefit out of it. For example, the travel allowances, there's a medical reimbursement allowances, conveyance allowances. So all these allowances and reimbursement that you have, food vouchers, a lot of companies today's time allows a flexi salary structure, and if they can actually do that, you save a lot of tax. And I come back to the point that tax planning at the beginning of a year will be far more beneficial than rushing in the last moment.
Okay. Rajat says that, is there any provision to save tax on loan interest if possession is delayed by the builder?
Okay, there is a lot of ambiguity, but ideally if it's more than 3 years time horizon, then the interest that you save is maximum up to 30,000 rupees interest that you can save on the interest that is paid. Mr. Lakhotia would like to highlight this.
I would say in practical parlance, we can say, if possession not given, interest paid or payable, in that case, once the possession is ready, at that time, calculate the interest for all the preceding years and divide it 1/5, add it to your current year's interest, and it is allowed as a deduction. But what? But please wait. Maximum limit of deduction is only 2 lakhs per annum.
Okay. It's time for a very short break here on NSE FinWiz, powered by CNBC TV 18. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching NSE FinWiz, powered by CNBC TV 18 Season 3, and today we're in Gurgaon at the office of Alcatel Lucent. Tanvi, now let's talk about the full personal finance. I want to start off talking to you about mutual funds. Why should one invest in mutual funds? Why are they beneficial? And if you could just lightly touch upon SIP, because people are very confused about SIP at times.
Okay. Let me first prelude to that question. Why is investment necessary today? Okay. See, there was a time during my father's time where the interest rate used to be 12% and inflation used to be 4%. Okay. That time we survived. In today's time, what has happened, if you look at the last 10-year average inflation is above 8-10%, and your fixed deposit rate is about 8-8.5. So if you invest in conventional products, so you may be feeling that you are earning return, but the post-tax return, and even if I deduct inflation thereafter, you are getting actually a negative return on your investment. Your money is degrowing. It's like a termite inside your woodwork. You can't see outside, it's eating in your woodwork. So the conventional product like fixed deposit, life insurance may not yield good revenue. The only choice that is there is to participate in growth asset like equity mutual fund. Now why mutual fund? Mutual fund gives you a very simple way of investing and participating in the broad stock market and that India's economic growth. And SIP is like a recurring fixed deposit that you used to do is like a recurring investment in the stock market that takes care of the volatility that happens. So mutual fund is an indirect way of participating in the equity market. Using a very small amount of even 5,000 rupees, you can invest on a monthly basis and participate in the market. That's the way, and systematic investment plan is perhaps one of the best way of participating in that market and riding the volatility of markets up and down without even thinking about it.
Right.
When companies are buy a car, they are allowed to take depreciation benefits, and when their employees who pay tax in individual capacity, why those employees are not allowed to take depreciation benefits when they file the returns, and what steps you being the tax guru are taking towards representing our interests with the new government.
The point is, we will not be available this tax benefit because the Income Tax Act does not contain it. This is the simple story. But the point is how we can get. Today we are not getting, my employer is getting, you are feeling unhappy because what the employer is getting, isn't it? That is the ultimate thing. But what you can plan, first of all, is plan your own affairs. Why do you buy the car? Let the company buy the car. Let the car be given by the company to you for office and residential purpose. A small amount alone is added per month. Lot of tax saving can be done.
Actually, there is a lot of information available with many of us how to invest into mutual funds and build a corpus. My question is, what if you have built a corpus and your corpus is saying 200% return or 100% return over a period of say 5 years, 10 years, then what you do? Whether you continue with the same mutual funds or you churn, or what is the strategy when you are actually earning money, you have not booked your profits?
Okay. Subhash, you want to take that?
The point is, when we make 100 becomes 200 or 300 in mutual fund investment, then we should have a call. We should take a call whether my appetite is okay now, क्या पेट भर गया है? अगर हाँ, then go into the again new turn again. And if you are happy with that, you have to also see what types of stocks are there in that mutual funds kitty. If you find that they are the items which are the shape of things to come in future, and the government's action plan is to help that industry. For example, recently last week only we were told that the shipping industry in India is going to double in next 1 or 2 years only. When we hear this, if you find that your mutual fund has got the investment in the shipping industry, then I feel that yes, you should continue. And let it continue. 200 will become 400, 500 and so on.
On that note, it's time for a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching NSE FinWiz powered by CNBC TV 18 Season 3, and today we're at the Gurgaon office of Alcatel Lucent. Tanvi, let's talk about some of the basics, some of the fundamentals of personal finance, building a portfolio. One of them is goal setting. And that is really tough. So you set your short-term, mid-term, long-term goals, but it's overwhelming. If you start to do that, you're like, oh my God, this is just, I can't stand it. I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. How do you advise people to set their goals and move ahead with that?
Very good question. In fact, there are some events that happen in our life. So use that event as a landmark if you can't set goal. For example, you might have children. So you have children education. Retirement is one goal which is inevitable to all of us out here working. You may have early retirement if you wish to. Female setting, they may look at sabbatical at a mid-career. A lot of people female take. So build that in your portfolio as a goal. A lot of us want to have yearly vacations. Have yearly vacation as a goal. Okay, you can have aspiration to changing a car, buying a house, those assets that you want to build. Those are goal setting. Now, then you segregate when do you want to buy. If a goal is between less than say 2 to 3 years, that are short-term goals. 3 to 5 year or 7 year, that's a mid-term goal. and any above 7, 10-year and 15-year goals are there, those long-term goals. Now choose a product which is best suited for that goal. Investment is that simple to build a portfolio. There's no rocket science per se.
Okay.
In India, we all have medical policies, but we are not getting OPD benefits, right? So is there any option in medical policies having OPD benefits?
Tanveer, you want to take it?
Yeah. In fact, there are policies available from private sector employees and PSU also on where you get OPD benefits. But those OPD benefits are very expensive. I would strongly advise that you don't buy those policies. The premium is so high that it doesn't make sense for you to buy those policies. Rather, plan your hospitalization where the major dent could happen. Okay, and just to give you an example, a small surgery, a cardiac surgery today may cost 4-5 lakh rupees in a good hospital today. So plan those big expenditures through medical insurance. The OPD and all, the expenditures you should build in the emergency plan or plan an investment, a buffer there, because the premium extra that you're paying there, and if you don't claim it, it's useless actually.
I have one house in Gurgaon, and but I'm not staying there. I want to stay in a rented house. So can I do that and take advantage of HRA as well as the interest part on that?
Yes, possible.
Yeah? Subhash ji?
No problem.
No problem. Yes.
Okay.
HRA benefit you can take, that means you take the rent receipt, go to the employer, give the rent receipt, and also please remember, if the total payment of the whole year is exceeding 1 lakh rupees, must give PAN number of the landlord. And for your house, which you may occupy, not occupy, but you are making payment of interest up to rupees 2 lakhs per annum, you can get separate deduction for the same.
If I have got 4 family members in my family, and like you are saying, PPF is the best option. So can I open 4 accounts? No doubt I will take benefit of tax only in my name only.
What is the age of different family members? Please tell me.
Yeah, like my wife is there and 3 kids are there. They are very younger.
They are
5 years or 8 years.
You can open PPF account for all the 4 family members, no problem. You say that I will claim the benefit only on 1,50,000 total. But please remember one very important point, and that is for you and your minor children taken together, the maximum amount which can be deposited in 1 year is 1,50,000 only. So please don't deposit any amount more than this, otherwise if they come to know or when they find out, then you will not get the interest at all. Yes, for you and your wife separately 1,50,000 each can be deposited in these 2 accounts.
Thank you, Subhash ji, for being here. Thank you, Tanveer, for being with us. Thank you so much for having us here.
The overall event was very helpful because it gave a sound understanding of the financial investments and savings, and I think this is the first time I participated in such an event. It was very, very helpful. Thank you.
It's great to be here, and I think this is a good option to know about finance, insurance, and all financial related issues, and I think it helps out.
Well, that's all on this episode of NSE FinWiz, powered by CNBC TV 18 Season 3. But here's a chance for you to win a cool goodie bag by answering this viewer question. Which of the following does not count as an itemized deduction on your income tax? The cost of utilities like water and gas, theft losses, gambling losses, all of the above. Send in your answers at fwq@network18online.com. The correct answer to last week's viewer question is Option C, E-Gold. Many thanks to all the viewers who sent in their replies. The winner to episode 6's viewer question is Divya Jyotsna from Odisha. We'll catch you next week with another set of young employees at another company. Until then, from the entire team, many thanks for watching.